Have you ever found yourself searching for spiritual truth by chasing after appearances, or wondered why, despite your devotion to rituals and temples, you still feel disconnected from enlightenment? Welcome back to our channel. Today's video dives into one of the most misunderstood yet deeply powerful teachings of the Buddha, his statement that those who seek me through form or sound are on a misguided path. These words have echoed through centuries of Buddhist thought, challenging followers to go beyond the sensory world and directly perceive the essence of Dharma. What did the Buddha mean? And more importantly, how can we apply this insight to our own lives today? The journey begins with a simple yet profound realization. What we see and hear is not the whole picture. The physical form of the Buddha, the statues, the paintings, the chants and bells, are not the Buddha himself. They are expressions, symbols, vehicles, but they are not the destination. If we confuse the map for the territory, we risk getting lost. When the Buddha said, "If you see me in form or hear me in sound, you walk the path of delusion," he wasn't condemning temples or images. He was pointing toward a deeper truth, that enlightenment is not something external. It's not something to be perceived by the five senses. It's not a spectacle. It's not a voice. It's not even an idea. Rather, it is a realization. A shift in consciousness, a direct encounter with reality as it is, unfiltered, unadorned, untouched by ego or illusion. Let me illustrate this with a story. In ancient India, a monk spent decades building statues of the Buddha. He believed that through this work, he would gain merit and eventually attain realization. One day, while polishing a marble image, he heard a voice within say, "You worship my likeness, but you do not know me." The monk was stunned. He had been so absorbed in form, so caught up in craftsmanship, that he had neglected the living Dharma. He put down his chisel. He sat in silence. He turned inward, and there, in the stillness beyond words and shape, he glimpsed the mind of the Buddha not as an object, but as a state of being. This story speaks to all of us. In our age of information, images and soundbites, it's easy to become obsessed with appearances. We chase after beautiful rituals, collect sacred objects, memorize chants. But without inner transformation, these become hollow gestures. They may soothe us for a moment, but they do not liberate. The real question is, are you using the Dharma to see your true nature? Or are you using it as decoration? Buddhism invites us to practice upaya skillful means. Statues, sutras, sounds, all of them are tools. They point toward the truth, but they are not the truth itself. Like a finger pointing at the moon, they help us see, but only if we look beyond the finger. Let's look at form. Form is everything we can see: the body, objects, appearances. The Buddha's own body was once a form, yet when he passed away, he reminded his disciples, "After my death, the Dharma and Vinaya shall be your teacher." He meant that the essence of his being was not his flesh, but his teachings. Not what he looked like, but what he embodied. Likewise, sound represents teachings, speech, and auditory rituals. Chanting, while powerful, is not magic. Without mindfulness and comprehension, it is just air. True hearing in Buddhism is not about the ears, it's about the heart-mind, recognizing the resonance of truth. This is why meditation is central. Meditation teaches us to see without clinging to sight, to listen without attachment to sound. It reveals the emptiness of phenomena not as nihilism, but as freedom. When you no longer chase after forms and cling to sounds, you begin to touch the formless. This is the beginning of insight. Let's take the example of a practitioner named Hiro. He visited hundreds of temples in Japan, knelt before thousands of statues, listened to countless sermons, but he always left feeling hollow. Then one day, walking alone through a forest, he heard a bird call. For a moment, his thoughts stopped. He felt utterly present. In that silence, something cracked open inside him. He realized he had been seeking the Buddha everywhere except in the silence of his own mind. From that day on, she meditated, not to hear the Buddha's voice, but to discover the silence from which all voices arise. That silence became his teacher. In it, he discovered patience, clarity, and compassion. And finally, the understanding that the Buddha was never outside him to begin with. What the Buddha teaches us is radical. You do not need to see him or hear him to find him, because he's not a person. He's a principle, an awakened state of mind. And that mind is already within you. So how do we approach practice with this understanding? Start by stripping away the layers of habit. If you chant, chant with full awareness. If you bow, bow not to the statue, but to the awakened potential within all beings, including yourself. When you read the sutras, don't just memorize. Reflect, absorb, question. Let the words become flesh in your own life. And most importantly, meditate. Meditation is not escape, it is return. Return to presence, to clarity, to stillness. In stillness, the illusions of form and sound fade, and what remains is the pure awareness from which all things arise. In that awareness, there is no need to seek, because there is nothing missing. When you truly understand this, everything becomes Dharma, a child's laughter, the fall of rain, the flicker of a candle. You see the Buddha not in form or sound, but in the reality of each moment. This is what the Zen tradition calls seeing your original face before your parents were born. It means contacting the deepest part of your being, not as a self, but as awareness itself. And so we return to the Buddha's words, "Those who seek me through form and sound are walking a mistaken path." These words are not a rebuke. They are an invitation, a gentle hand pointing inward. So stop seeking, start seeing. Thank you for watching this video. If you felt a deeper understanding awaken in you today, I encourage you to spend a few quiet moments in reflection. Where have you been searching outward? What would it mean to turn inward instead? Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you had moments where form and sound fell away and truth revealed itself? Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more teachings that challenge, inspire, and guide you toward real transformation. Until next time, may you see not just the image of the Buddha, but the Buddha nature in yourself and all beings.